Right, it's been announced the Freedom Fights 250 UFC White House card, whatever you want to call it, has been announced. And to be honest with you guys, my initial reaction to this card was actually quite negative, but I've taken a few minutes to think about it. And the more I look at this card, I actually really like it, to be honest with you. Topuria versus Gaethje, Pereira versus Gane. We kind of already knew about these two fights, but they are really, really strong title fights. The rest of the card is where I do admittedly get a little bit confused. Now, as I did say, Bonacul is the son that Dana White wishes he had, so he was always going to be on this card. Another fighter that was always going to be on this card was Michael Chandler. He has been eating Dana White's asshole ever since he signed to the promotion, so it made sense that he was going to be on the card. But Chandler versus Rufi is not a good fight for Chandler. Nickel versus Dalkaus as well. It's just kind of like an odd fight. I feel like it's the UFC maybe trying to give Nickel like a respectable layup, but Dalkaus could be a tough fight for Nickel, just given the fact that we have seen Nickel kind of struggle in the past, I guess. But Lopez versus Garcia, I love that fight. That's a really, really good fight. O'Malley versus Zahabi is also a really good fight, but I also find it just a little bit disappointing. I don't know if you really could go out there and find a more exciting matchup for O'Malley, but I personally feel like you probably could. But overall, this is a really good card. It's just a shame that the UFC has withheld so many potential fights and this and that for this one card, because this is the card. This is the whole card. It's, 6 fights long. The UFC product that we've been getting recently hasn't really been all that strong. 326 is taking place right now. Yes, there's been some finishes recently, but overall, the prelims were pretty weak, I would say, for a numbered event. 325 was a bit, 324 was good, but you know, like we've had some cards in this period of time that have been really, really weak. A lot of fights that have been going the distance and just not been very entertaining. So I feel like everyone was like, oh, look, the reason why the cards haven't been that good, why the matchmaking's not been that good, it's because we're waiting for this UFC White House card. But this White House card, like, yes, it's really, really good, but it's not like so crazy, unbelievably good that it makes sense to have like had poor matchmaking in the past. But as I said, this is a great card. I do love the card. I can't wait to watch it. Initial reads, I do think Topuria is going to beat Gaethje. I think he's going to knock out Gaethje. I think he's probably going to do it easily as well, to be honest. Pereira versus Gane, I think that Pereira is going to beat Gane. Now, maybe I'm going to look into Gane a little bit more just to make sure of this, because we have seen Gane go 5 rounds with Francis Ngannou. But initially, I do think that we're going to see Alex Pereira get a knockout over Cyril Gane. I like that fight. I think if Pereira wins this fight, even though it is an interim title, I don't think it matters. It'll be 3 titles in 3 divisions. You're going to have to start having some pretty uncomfortable conversations on where that he is going to start ranking in all-time lists. I mean, he already is the best striker of all time. I don't think that you can argue that. There's 2 people in the Glory Kickboxing Hall of Fame. Alex Pereira is one of them. Alex Pereira is now 2-division champion, a knockout machine. He knocked out Israel Adesanya in MMA when Adesanya was at the top, and then he had the rematch with Adesanya. He moved up. He's knocked out Yuri. I mean, what more can Pereira achieve in striking in the UFC? O'Malley versus Zahabi, you know, it kind of is like one of those fights that I think could have been better. I do think, like, the thing is, though, I say this and I can't think of something better off the top of my head, so maybe you could just say, oh, you know, that is what it is. Maybe Zahabi was the best option, but yeah, I mean, I think that O'Malley beats Zahabi. I think he's probably going to beat Zahabi, just kind of doing what O'Malley does, really. I think Rufi's going to knock out Chandler. Chandler is, once again, probably Dana White's little side piece, to be honest, but I do think that we're going to see Rufi knock him out. Nickel, I think he probably will beat Dalkaus, but, you know, I don't think he's going to do it with ease. And then Lopez versus Garcia, if you want my honest opinion, aside from the 2 title fights, this is my most interesting fight. I love this fight. I think it's an amazing fight. It's not even really a fight that I was thinking of myself, but I look at this and I just think, wow. You know, because Lopez, he is a tough dude, but his striking defense isn't that good. Steve Garcia hits really hard. I personally have had concerns about Steve Garcia's chin, and to be fair, he's not been getting knocked out recently, but he used to get knocked down many times in his early UFC career, so I do still worry about that damage kind of coming through when he takes on a power puncher. And here he goes, he's taking on Diego Lopez. So, great fight. I do think Nickel gets Alcaus is a bit disappointing. Rufi Chandler's a bit disappointing. Omali Zahabi's a bit disappointing, but overall, like, this is a really, really good card. I mean, it is going to be a fun event. I don't know what they're going to do at the White House because I think the Orange Man himself has been saying that they're going to do 100,000 seats, but I think more people are saying there's going to be like 500 seats and it's going to be like government and military and stuff that's going to be there. So I don't know. I think it's more so just going to be a very exclusive event that is going to be outdoors, I'm going to guess, unless that ballroom that he just built is big enough, because we have seen, I don't know if you guys remember, but they have done UFC events in ballrooms before and recently too. I know Cedric Dumas, I think, made his his UFC debut in a ballroom. I could be wrong though, but yeah, maybe it's going to happen in the ballroom, maybe it's going to happen on the lawn. There's so many conflicting stories with that, but to be honest with you, I don't really care about that. I just care about the card, and I think this could be a really, really good card. So let me know what you think in the comments below.